So this is a lab-grown piece of human brain tissue. And get this, it remembers stuff. It's literally the first time scientists have taught brain tissue to remember how to do something. This research was published in the journal Nature, and according to the scientists from the University of California, San Francisco, what they have created are mini human brain organoids that can be grown in labs and used to study the human brain. These organoids are made from stem cells, which are kind of like the Lego blocks of the body. When given the right signals, stem cells can turn into any type of tissue. In this case, the researchers wanted to make brain cells, so they nudged those stem cells into becoming neurons. And then they organized those neurons into networks that look and act a lot like real brain tissue. But neurons by themselves aren't all that interesting. I mean, sure, they send signals, but that doesn't really do anything unless they're hooked up to something like, a Pong game. Yeah, seriously. The researchers connected these lab-grown neurons to a computer so they could train them to play the classic game. Whenever the neurons fired in a certain pattern, the computer registered that as a paddle movement. And after a while, the neurons learned to work together to make the paddles move and keep the ball in play. And get this, after the training was over, the neurons still remembered how to play even when they were reconnected to a new set of neurons. That memory stayed encoded in the neural activity for at least 2 weeks, which in the life of a neuron is like, a really long time. Now, this was an incredibly complex experiment that required a bunch of cutting-edge tech, including 3D bioprinting, which is a technique for making precise structures out of living cells, and artificial intelligence to provide feedback to the neurons, and CRISPR, which is a gene editing tool that lets you modify DNA at very specific locations. This isn't science fiction, it's real science, and it has huge implications for the future of medicine. This tech lets us build models of the brain in a dish to better understand how it works and what goes wrong when diseases like Alzheimer's strike. It also gives us a new way to test the safety and effectiveness of new drugs, and it might even help inspire new types of biohybrid AI that are made from living neurons. But it also raises some big questions, like, do these neurons experience feelings? If so, what does that mean for their memories? And who owns those memories? The scientists who grew them, the neurons themselves, or whoever is playing Pong with them? We don't have answers for those questions yet, but one thing is for sure, this is just the beginning. In the future, neurons grown in labs could help us understand the most complicated thing in the universe, the human brain.